Good afternoon, guys. So this is going to be part 3 of the shed build. And on this episode, I'm going to continue with the rotted beams and replacing the rain gutter. Well, I removed the rain gutter already. I'll be replacing it, putting a fascia board on, trimming the roof, getting all that done. And then I will continue framing and put up another wall, possibly 2 more walls. We'll see how far I get on today's video. But that's where we're at. That's what this is, episode 3 of the shed build. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Okay, this is where we're at right now. Basically what I did is I cut off the rotten parts of all of these beams, or the ends of the beams. Most of them, as I cut them, they just kind of fell down. So it has the 4-inch face on there, and that's where the 2x6 is going to get screwed into, and the 2x6 is going to go all the way up to the roof line and basically replace this purlin. So this purlin was on top of the beams that were sticking out before. You can see like the rot marks and nails sticking out and stuff. So that 2x6 will now become the purlin and the fascia all in one. So a couple of these, they did have some rot even past where I cut. So I added a piece of 2x4 in here, which is screwed into the side and also screwed in from the back through the other piece of blocking on those two. And then this one, I added one because this is where my 2 fascia boards are going to split. So this side here is going to be a 10-foot piece, and then this side here will be a 14-foot piece. And here is the fascia boards that I cut. So one is a 14-foot and the other is a 10-foot. And then on the ends, I put a 15-degree cut on there. So that will basically be where the end comes out here. There will be a 15-degree cut this way, just to keep moisture off of it as well. All right, these fascia boards are all painted all the way around. And I got all of these pieces painted. So that one still has the little rotten part there. But once it's covered, it'll have a chance to actually dry out, and then hopefully the rot doesn't really continue. I mean, if it does, then I'm gonna end up having to change the whole beam out. But this is ready for the fascia to go up. All right, so now I'm going to put the fascia boards up and go from there. So time-lapse time. All right, fascia board is up, and now it's time for the messy part that I don't really want to do, and that's going to be trimming the roof. I'm going to have to probably break apart the existing 2x4 that's on here, and I know there's going to be nails and stuff sticking out of there. And then I'm basically going to just mark a line. I'm going to take a 2x4, run it along this the fascia board, and then just mark 1.5 inch out, and then that will be the spacing of the new roof so that it goes into the gutter. All right, I have the 2x4 removed all the way down, and then I have my line marked out. You can see that little dotted line going down, so that's where I'm going to be cutting. And I'm really not looking forward to this part because it's going to be really messy and really loud. Well, that totally sucked. Looking very Ragnar. Man, I knew that was gonna be shitty. Anyway, it's done. I'm gonna get cleaned up and clean up this mess, and then I'll put the gutter up. All right, I'm ready to put this gutter back up. And you see how these gutter holds are designed. So you have a screw that goes in here, and then this is supposed to go against a stop, you know, and that's what keeps the gutter level. And the way that this thing was installed before, it was like this on the edge of the 2x4, so this stuff was just hanging like that. So it was no wonder this gutter wasn't working. So anyway, gonna be installing this. And one thing I did forget to get was another 90, because I have to cut this off, obviously, since I cut some of the roof. So I'll have to do that later on. And for now, my water is just gonna drip down, but I could probably run to Ace today and get that piece. All right, so I got this first piece up. And what I did was I got the height of that about where I want it, where it's going to drop into this pipe here. I held this, you know, level, of course. I put the first screw in, and then what I did is I put a string. So then I have a string line that's going all the way across to this side. So this might be a little extreme, but basically, since my drain is here, I want this entire thing to be sloping this way to go to the drain. And I don't know if you remember from the other videos, it was like this, and then the end was like falling off. So now that I'm putting this back up, and it's actually going to have the back support of the fascia board, it should be nice and hopefully straight and drain really well. So I was probably losing a lot of water that I could have been, you know, getting in my catchment tank because this gutter wasn't set up properly. All right, rain gutter is reinstalled, and I got the hose and I sprayed, you know, across the carport and down the gutter, kind of washed everything out. I did spray it down before, but it still had some stuff in it. So this is done. I just got to go get a new corner piece and then cut that and add the corner piece in. All right, next I am going to start working on this outboard wall, which is the one that is, you know, facing towards the back of the property, I guess. This particular wall is going to have 2 windows in it. So it'll be a little bit more tricky than just the standard framing, 16 on center. So I need to grab my windows and get some measurements, and then I can start doing the layout for that. All right, so this is my windows that I have. This is a 24 by 48, and this one is a 24 by 36. So these are just, you know, regular vinyl windows. I actually got these from my friend Kent. If you remember when I was doing my water filter video, he came over to help me do that. He had a couple windows laying around, so it was perfect for this. I just wanted to have a couple windows in the shed, so eventually if this becomes, you know, a studio or something for my wife, that it's not just a box. So I have my 2 14-foot 2x4s laid out here, and we will start doing the layout. So I don't know if you can see this, but the sun is shining and it's raining. So that is weather on the east side of the Big Island. All right, I have my lines laid out. Basically the same. I'm gonna have 2 beams. This beam is 3.5 inches in, so you'll have the wall here, and then there will be something to screw the drywall in from the inside. With that beam, first beam 16 inches on center, and then I have a 24-inch or a 36-inch opening. This is actually the center under the window. That's why I put a line through it, because I'm not going to put a beam there right away. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a weird one because I went 16 center off of the other window, and then that's just where it came out. So that's fine. There will just be 2 beams there. This window I wanted to put across from where the door is going to be. So that's why that's centered on that. Same distance from this wall as what the doorway is. And then this is where my 48-inch window starts, up to there. These will be beams under the window and over the window. That's why I have a line through them this way, so I know. And then my 2 beams on the end. All right, so the other walls, I'm going to make 82.5, but then they are going to have a top cap on them. So that will push them up to 84. So once the wall is built up here, the wall will basically be the same height as this wall, which will go across and equate to this wall. And then once this wall is up and this sidewall is built, and then the same for the sidewall over here, there will be a top cap. So there will be another 2x4 basically on top of the frame, and it will extend past this wall and lock it in. So that's just another more secure way of having all of your frames locked in. So I want to make my walls 82.5, and then there will be another, 2x4 on top, so that'll bump it up to 84 total. So that's what I'm going to be going for. So I need to cut all my pieces for this wall. Okay, my framing for this side is done. What I'm going to need to do now, my windows, I'm going to place about 48 inches from the slab. So they're 24-inch windows, so that'll basically be from 48 to 72 inches. And then a little bit less because the windows are not actually 24 because of all the framing and everything. So they're going to be a little high, but that's fine because it's a shed. Plus, if we end up having some kind of counter or something on the inside shelving, it'll just be below that. So that's what I'm going for now. So basically what's going to happen is I will cut my inside beams here, and then there'll also be a beam on the inside of each of these. So taking out the 3 1/8 inch for the 2x4s, then I'll need to cut 4 pieces that'll go up, and that'll be the bottom frame for the window. Same thing on this side, but it's just one in the center here, and then I'll have my 2 side pieces. So that way you'll have a solid surface for the window to sit on. And then above, 24 inches up, then I'll put in a double set of 2x4s, and that'll be my header, and then also a centerpiece above that, as well as the 2 centerpieces above this side. All right, so I have all of the lower pieces cut. I have the cross piece on the top there. Pieces over there are cut, so now I just have to put all this together. All right, this wall is pretty much ready to raise. All I have to do is add the sill gasket on the bottom, and then I will be able to lift this up. All right, I'm ready to bring this wall up. I have a 2x4 on either side with the screw already started. So once I bring this up, I'm gonna put that 2x4 on the side, screw it in, and that'll be the brace to hold it up until I can start to get it anchored. All right, check that out. So these windows are I just put 1 screw in them temporarily just to kind of get a feel of how it's going to look. Yeah, that's nice. Good progress. It's all about the visual progress. So pretty awesome. Now I'm going to make this wall right here. This one should be fairly quick because there's no special cuts, no measurements, no windows, no doors, nothing like that. It's just going to be a straight framed up wall. So let's get to that. All right, I have my 2 end pieces cut here, and then I'm going to need 7 vertical pieces cut to do this framing. Oh yeah. So This is starting to look kind of like a shed. All right, so that's 3 of the 4 walls. Everything is secured. The last thing left to do is to put in some concrete anchors. So I think I'll be putting in 3 on this side and then 2 on that wall, just like I did over here on this wall. So let me get that done. All right, guys. So this is going to be the end of this video. Got a lot done on this video. I mean, just all the work up there, adding the fascia, cutting down those beams, putting the gutter back in place, getting this long wall up, getting this short wall up. This wall is not totally done yet. As you can see, there's no beam here on top, so I'll need to put a cross beam here, and then there's going to be 2 little beams going here that'll match these on the bottom, and then the same on that side. I actually ran out of 2x4s, so yeah, but that is it. This is a lot of progress. So the next video is going to be building this last wall out, and then there's going to be a set of barn doors here, so it's going to be like a 4-foot door basically, so 2 barn doors that'll swing open, and then getting the rafters put in, purlins, all that, and then roofing, house wrap, the paneling or siding. I'm not sure what I'm going to put on here yet. I'm going to try and find the same siding as what's on the house so that it'll match, because this is essentially part of the house now, since it's, tied into the carport. So that is it. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope maybe somebody learned something. Again, I'm no professional framer or carpenter, so thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. I will see you guys on the next video. Aloha.